some coffee too. I'm about 2 steps behind where I should be at the moment, and I have no good excuse. But let's head on over and say hello to our other co-host here on our little show, Mr. Walter Johnson, also known as Flat Earth Head over on the YouTubes. Walt, how you doing?
Trying to find that mute button. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, YouTube and TFR and Zach and anybody else that I missed. Are we having restream issues, or did you try to retitle this?
I retitled it. I reset it.
I didn't mean to miss you, man. I'm sorry. I should have caught it earlier. My bad. Live production. You got to love it. So it's that kind of Tuesday. Hello, everybody. We're here. That's wild out there that you're shaking and quaking like that. I've only, that I know of, been in a few. Well, way back in the 80s, I worked out in Santa Maria. That's where I was actually for that one. And little tiny light one shook the bed in the motel room. I'm like, oh, what's that? I thought my roommate had brought another fine lady in to meet me. Anyway, sorry. But he tended to bring guests. I didn't know were coming early in the morning while I was sleeping. Anyway, and then another time when I was out in Oregon, or two maybe, one time I felt it and thought that there was a big truck going by, because that's what happens here when the big trucks go by. The ground kind of vibrates and shakes, and my brother assured me that that was definitely a quake. And then he came into the room another time. I was like, hey, did you feel that? And I didn't. So apparently I was in 3. But still, don't know. Never have.
Yeah, this was a 5.1.
Like, yeah, right. That's where you like go. You know something's happening. That's right. That's
and
nuts.
It was, the biggest one in North Carolina history, supposedly, that's ever been recorded.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah. It's rare. It's not normal around here at all.
Yeah, lots of not normal going on around here.
It was cool, though, Walt. I want to go again. Maybe even a little bit closer. A little bit closer. I don't know. It didn't scare me at all. It was kind of neat. Now I could see if you're jumping around and getting thrown and stuff's falling all over the place. And
the comedians.
I've seen some of those videos and it looks terrifying, you know. But this sitting outside, nice little rumble, little bounce, and it's over. Hey, that was fun. Where do I hand my ticket? I want to ride again.
So I did something on Sunday that I thought kind of blew my mind. Well, I was down here in the studio, just avoiding being upstairs. It was early. I like my quiet time, and I don't get it anymore, so I was down here. Anyway, I was on YouTube, and I'm scrolling down, and I just happened to see that somebody had uploaded the full version of Donnie Darko. Not the director's cut, but just the regular movie. Like, sweet. I don't want to pay for YouTube, so I'll just watch a full movie on YouTube while I'm here. And it's Donnie Darko. I've not actually watched Donnie Darko in a good long while. So 2 hours later, I get done, and the damn thing made sense.
Dude, that showed up on my YouTube recommendations.
How? What?
Yeah, mine too. I was trying to get mute to tell you that it came through my feed as well. So apparently they're pushing that for some reason.
But it didn't make sense?
It did. I remember watching it the first time and being affected by it. And really having enjoyed watching it, but not being just lost as fuck, right? I don't know what the hell I just saw, but man, I really liked it.
It's like a piece of art that you just don't get yet, you know?
That's what it was. But then I'm watching it. And I'm convinced it is one of those mind control videos that they use with the post-hypnotic suggestion. The way they use cellar door, I swear, is triggering people somewhere. And just the way the director frames it. I forget the fella's name. He wrote it and directed it. His dad worked for NASA, actually. His dad developed one of the cameras for one of the Mars missions. I looked into this guy that Sunday because after I got done watching it again, I was still affected, but it made sense to me. But I had to go back and see what kind of crap was going to be in this writer-director's life that would speak to maybe some sort of mind control, or at least knowledge of mind control. There was NASA staring me in the face. But yeah, it was a really weird, a whole new Donnie Darko experience. It was.
Ooh, I got a little teaser.
Ooh, tease it, big boy.
There will be a Flattoberfest.
Ooh, I saw that tease from Karen on Facebook.
Nice one. Nice
It's
one.
official as of yesterday. They picked out the hall and everything.
Nice.
People, they're going to get so much shit for the hall that they chose, but it's the only one that they can have, people, and it's the best price and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, y'all out there will see.
Was
it's
it Knights of Columbus or even?
Yeah, there's gonna be some pissed off people. We'll just say that.
Awesome.
I don't care what building it's done in. It's the intent inside the building that counts, people.
Yeah, if you're putting tents in buildings.
Tents in buildings.
Tents in buildings. It's what's in the tent that's in the building.
Oh, I'm sorry. I unmuted at the wrong time as I read Daz's comment about doubting our commitment to Sparkle Motion. Oh, to Alan's commitment to Sparkle Motion. That's awesome, Daz. Yeah, I was going to say, apparently we have a few fans of Donnie Darko there in chat as well. Awesome, awesome movie. I haven't seen it actually since, my goodness. I dissected it quite a bit early on. I was such a fan. I went out immediately and got a copy and dissected it over and over again. So I thought I had a pretty good handle on it years ago, quote unquote. We'll see when I watch it again this time to see what you say. And like you say, the codings and the hidden stuff that we know more about now than we did back then. For sure, for sure. Sorry. That was bad timing on the reading of the comment from Daz. Awesome. Shout out to everybody in chat. I'm not going to read the roll call right now. But yeah, definitely excited about the convention as well. Hell yeah.
It seems like every movie I watch, like a movie that I've watched, a decade ago or whatnot, or even 5 years ago, I watch it now and it's like a different movie. Same words, same people, all that same stuff. But what I notice now with my new eyes, like I'm looking in the background and seeing mud flood stuff. There's just, I don't know, the world is different now. It is totally different through my eyes. It's awesome. It's like I'm a child again. I can watch everything over again. I don't know, I love it.
I think I broke my computer.
Nope, you're good. Well, so far.
No, I did actually, because I'm trying to fix some things in the background and I'm frozen up and I could not get back to my mute button. So, sorry again. Too much stuff going on. My apologies. My apologies. Not enough coffee in the brain yet. I'll keep pouring.
Yeah, it's especially the movies where there's an elite individual, I really, really pay attention to what they say now. Like when I watched the Willy Wonka movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the old one, the original. Man, Gene Wilder, the stuff he says is just like, wow. I mean, it was, 60s, early 70s, something like that when it was made. Maybe even late, so I'm not sure. But, so it couldn't be too graphic or anything, but the stuff he says is like, whoa, especially for the time.
I want to say late 70s, mid to late 70s, maybe.
Who wrote Willy Wonka and the Chocolate? Is that a really old story?
It's a book. It was a book called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then the guy who wrote the book, Roald Dahl, was the guy who wrote the screenplay as well. So yeah, He wrote quite a few interesting little novels. He was the guy who wrote James and the Giant Peach. There's some sequels to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I read all that way back. Loved his stuff as a kid.
Yeah, there's always like a
little more
land
dense than some did.
Most people don't know about, you know, and in all these stories, Loompa Land, Schnoz Wanglers, and Vermicious Knid. Yeah, I don't know, they tell us so much right in front of our eyes. And we don't really notice it unless, you know, you have those eyes that see.
Well, interesting enough, seeing movies with new eyes, I just watched Clockwork Orange with a friend who had not seen it. They had read the book recently and had not seen the movie. So it was interesting. I don't think I've seen that movie in probably 20 years myself. So it was cool to both see it new and watch someone else see it for the first time. How long has it been since you saw it?
I have never watched the whole thing all the way through.
Right. How long since you tried?
Oh, I don't know. Over a decade. Since
I wandered through it when it came on, whatever it came on back in the day, like in the late 80s, mid 80s, one of the cable channels, really didn't understand what I was watching, moved on. I mean, I knew it was something really out there, but didn't really know a lot at the time about like MK Ultra and things like that. So then later on, as I started finding out about those things, saw it again, but that was probably 20 years ago. So definitely it was interesting to see the just blatant things, the pedophilic weird dude that was his, I guess, truant officer, parole officer, whatever he was, that scene on the bed with them two together was just nuts that was even in a movie, and nobody was like, oh, what the fuck, and just crazy stuff. If you haven't seen it with new eyes, go check it out for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one too. But it's one of those like Zach. It took me a couple times to make it through all the way.
Right. Most people, that's exactly it. Like I said, once I saw it the first time, it was years before I saw it again, because it was just like, what the hell? That was just bizarre stuff. I don't want to see that ever again. It was not for me, you know. So
yep.
It was only after I saw some stuff in the real world, the MK Ultra files and things like that. I was like, maybe I need to see what this movie's really about. And that was a while back. So, but man, now it broke my brain. Just the obvious shit right in your face. Just right in your face.
All dressed up and wearing like pajama bottoms or whatever, their painted jumpsuits. That's when I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. This is a little too weird for me. And that's when I turned it off. I don't know. The whole movie was kind of weird, but when the guys are wearing the masks and there's a lady laying on the bench or whatever, and they come up and they're like dancing around her and all that crap. So what the hell is this? Is this like a silent musical or something?
I was also paying close attention to see if there were any like Kubrick hints to, you know, whatever, moon landings or whatever. And there was one comment made by one of the characters, I can't remember who it was now, but just something about, and we've got men on the moon and da-da-da-da-da. And I was just kind of chuckled, and that was about the only obvious thing, you know. But it was just a line in the movie. It wasn't like a hidden 237 in the background or something. It was just a comment, but it was cute. I laughed, and they looked at me like, I'll explain it later. And I did. And of course, he and I have been arguing about all of these issues as far as NASA and moon landings for some years now. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the movie, definitely check it out with new eyes if you haven't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah, me too.
I know. I had trouble getting up this morning. Usually it's so easy to wake up around here. I don't know.
Something in the air last night, man, for sure, because I just lay and tossed and turned. And I was exhausted and very needing to sleep, but just couldn't get there. Too much going on. And then when I did sleep, wow, I just had the flash of a dream I had. What was that about? Something about it being in chat, looking at names in chat. I don't know. We'll see if I see that person in chat today. That would be crazy if I do. See, John Savage is right. I dream chat. That's how much I stay in it. Sorry, John. What? That's got to mean something, though. That person that I saw a video about this person just days ago. So that's probably why I dreamed. But the fact that they were in our chat and they haven't been in our chat in a long time, and it was like, wow, that's cool. There's somebody's talking about them. I'm not gonna say the name yet because I don't want to jinx it. I'm not gonna do the
Beetlejuice summoning.
No, I'm just gonna let it happen. If it's supposed to happen, it will. Harwood said God is doing a dream stream, and he was looking at who was in chat. That's good. I like it. Speaking of everybody in chat, I guess we could open the phone lines. Or did you want to dig in the lettuce pile or the pettuce pile? Either one of those.
We could do either. I have TFR up. I don't have the flatline up.
Well, then I guess they could call TFR since we have that line. It's 213-233-3998. Do that.
That's it.
213-233-3998. Call now. There's also the
833 TFR live.
There you go. Josh got that one. That should be the easy one. I was thinking, was it 866-800? But it's 833. Josh, remember.
I think that's right. Now that you have me questioning it.
No, you're right. You're right. When you said it, it was like, that's the one, because I couldn't find it because it wasn't a normal, regular one. The usual ones that call you and bug you. So, and then there's, oh man, I don't know. We're not even going to try the UK number by memory, so I'll have to go look it up.
Yeah, no clue.
But I definitely, I don't know, between that earthquake and other things that have been going on, definitely just weird vibes, weird energy, weird things in the sky. I don't know, just strange stuff. I've been out looking for I went out trying to find the comet, but just that wasn't happening. And now that the skies have cleared up a bit, it's so hot at night and mosquitoes are just out, just crazy. Their usual little span when they're bad just stays way over. So anyway, the sky, I don't know. It's kind of one of these things. Interestingly enough, we had a little psychedelic discussion on our Friday show. If you didn't check out Have No Sphere over there Friday, we had Martin Liedke show up. We all had a little discussion of some of our psychonautic days. And anyway, long story short, as I'm looking at the sky, it's almost like one of those experiences where I'm looking at this little group of stars, but it feels like all the other stars start moving and going, hey, I'm over here doing shit. You better look at me real quick. And when I do, they're like, nope, sight. But over here, these stars are doing shit. And 2 or 3 times while I'm looking at a constellation, it's like, wait, is that star moving out of fucking position? I don't know what's going on, but stuff is happening in the sky without a doubt. Go out there, people, and go look up, because all these distractions and all this stuff, they're ramping up, I think, is a whole lot to keep us from looking out at the sky, because the sky is telling us stories right now. Sorry, a little Walt ramble there.
No worries. We have actually someone with us who likes to ramble on occasion. Good morning, Daz. How are you?
Nice.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Do I sound okay?
Yep, you sound
Sound great.
What's going on, Daz?
I'm not going to monopolize your conversation. I just have one idea, if you don't mind, if you can give me just a minute to say the idea, and then I'll fade away.
You betcha.
Okay.
You got about 2 minutes, and then we'll hit the break.
All right, perfect. Just enough time then. All right. So I made a alter ego, complete fake personality, Daz Tartarian, right? So for for an art project, right? So you can like make a fake social media presence and then play that character and then have all the Google algorithms and spiders and stuff all just assume this is a person, and then you can have conversations with that person and then just see how convoluted that you can screw up an algorithm and see if they like sending free shit to your fake self, like people get checks sent to their dog, that type of thing. And then at the same time, on the radio show, just randomly just switch to that character as if it's a real person, so that some troll or NPC or CIA or whatever, they're just going to listen in and they're going to like, oh, there's that person. We got a soundbite of them saying that they're from the Tartarian dimension, and just make it so fucking outlandish, like one of those Art Bell people like, yeah, I was a CIA time travel operative, and then just stick with that story, just to have a simple story, and then just make these random conversations like your body is the avatar and that character switching in, just like theater, right? But, just randomly in real life, like LARPing into this character, if you see my point. All right, over and out. Radio theater.
I love it, Dave.
I love it.
Because Daz Tartarian is that version of me from a parallel universe where Tartaria still exists, right? That's my little shtick on it. Oh, and the bad guys, here we go. The bad guys from Wooden Nickels, the supervisors. Isn't that the fucking coolest concept? Those old geezers with the white mustaches and bowler hats always standing around building sites looking like they're not doing any work, but they're there like they own it. I figured it out. They spent 20 years digging up something, discovered something, and then the other robber barons moved in and said, hey, you're part of the club now. You discovered a train or whatever. Like, now you're part of the club. Thanks for digging it out of the mud for 20 years. They became the supervisor class.
That sounds like sick. Can you hang on with us, Dad?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, man, hang out. We'll make this break. We'll take...
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio, or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
Travis Cook, America's Evil Genius, here to invite you to join us every Tuesday afternoon here on Truth Frequency Radio. No, on our show, you will not see a bunch of three-piece suits or a cocktail party, and you certainly won't see a bunch of inside the Beltway banter. But you will see eye-gouging, crotch-kicking, no-holds-barred political discussion, the likes of which you won't see anywhere else in media. America's Evil Genius. We come to you every Tuesday from the outskirts of war-torn St. Louis, Missouri, where there's always a good race rider sex scandal just around the corner. Join us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and noon on the left coast right here on TFR-Live.com. America's Evil Genius, Travis Cook, on TruthFrequencyRadio.com.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Lightning has just struck my brain.
Well, that must hurt.
And welcome back to the Ironworx, where we are joined by our good friend Daz on the line. Coming up with
we're joyed as well.
Hello, everyone.
Overjoyed to be joined by Daz and his alter ego Daz Tartarian.
You know, there was a guy that used to do, I don't know how many voices, at least 3 with Walton and Johnson, a guy named Steve Johnson, and he would have conversations with himself live between these 3 voices. It's pretty nuts to hear, and I always wondered if he used some kind of delay or some kind of pre-recorded segments, but it always was so improvised to what Walton was talking about. It just seemed like it was happening live. I don't know how the hell he did it, but pretty crazy stuff to hear. I was actually trying to find a clip to show you, and apparently their stuff was so politically incorrect that I can't find anything but reports of his death recently. Rest in peace, Stephen Johnson. I mean Walton, sorry. He's the one that passed. Steve's still around. My apologies.
Well, and that's part of the whole point as radio, theater, art project, experiment, however happening, however you want to say it, it actually increases your brain capacity to your regular you, right? But now you're in character, so that activates a part of the brain where there's memory of this character. But at the same time, it fits in with our talking of shifting to parallel universes, and there's me in a different universe who had a different path in life, and there's me in this universe who's a robber baron, There's me in this universe where the fucking reset never happened, etc. Well, hang on a second. My steam-powered cell phone just clicked in. Here's my special effect. Okay. Did you hear my special effect? Probably not. Okay.
No, I missed
So
it.
I flicked the lighter.
I heard it then. We got it.
So yeah, that's my steampunk cell phone in my Tartarian dimension. It's all powered by crystals and wood and and flame and stuff. Hey, I'll give you a brief background to maybe fill in the details. Because I know we're all old and stuff, and we can't do anything fun, so we must sit around and watch Fox News and rant at the screen and cry about wearing masks every fucking day. So, or we could do this as a big Andy Kaufman inside joke, dry humor, Monty Python type art theater experiment. Because where's all the other flat Earth celebrities? How come they don't come on your show anymore? Why is it a dumb fuck like me? Well, anyway, I've got a new saying for you, Ironworx, because there's probably got to be a lot of other really good shows on at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday that you're watching instead of us, but still, we're cool as well. Ironworx. It's like, where's everyone else? Did they all get reset away? Where's Mark Sargent? All these people? Is he too old to get up this early or something?
We had Mark.
It just seems weird that no one. Karen B is my hero for still hanging on to this reality. Did the other van people this drive away into the parallel universe? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, we did have Mark Sargent call in not too terribly long ago. A couple weeks, maybe a few weeks ago. Mark called in.
Yeah, about 2 weeks back. So it's pretty much time frame more than anything else, I would guess. I mean, as we reach out to folks, 9 times out of 10, it's 2 a.m. on their coast over there, because for some reason a lot of them are on that coast. However, a big exodus just occurred over to the right side of the country and to that area that's daytime already. Zach's been up for 4 or 5 hours now, right? So hopefully all those flat earthers out on that coast, hint, 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 are going to start calling in, since they're all up and around now this time of the morning. Hint.
I mean, you have a real chill show. I mean, there's no one more polite than Josh, for fuck's sake. It's like he can fill in the air, but when some lunatic starts ranting, you'll let him talk. I mean, that's gold for the radio. Most hosts just want to butt in and say, yeah, and meanwhile back here. So, I mean, it's a good show for anyone, especially in this type of genre of stuff, who has this point that's been boiling around in their brain all day, and they're like, no one will listen to me. Oh, wait, Ironworx will listen to me. They've got a chill show.
That's right.
They always
listen. I don't know why these other folks don't pop on there.
Well, that's exactly right. We've always tried to stay open and allow other points of view and other people to come on and express what they think regardless. Provided they're willing to allow the same for us.
I remember the first time I called into you guys. It was because some NASA employee called in and said you guys were evil and she was one of the chosen ones and she has to listen to all this stuff and she reads all the comments from the internet and she shouldn't have to go through all this and blah, blah, blah. And I could tell the guys were just like, what the hell was that? And it was just, they were both speechless. So I called in and I just laid into that broad. And then after that, I was so mad I didn't even think I was on the radio. My blood was just boiling. It was like they attacked my children or something. I was just irate. And yeah, I had my little rant. And then after that, I was okay to be on the radio somewhat. Nah, I think I was still pretty freaked out when you guys asked me to do an interview. I don't know. It's weird. Now it's nothing. Now it's just getting up and a cup of coffee.
I remember your rant. Trust me, the NASA lady rant. I remember it well, my friend.
I forgot all about that.
That was the first Zach rant we ever had. like a unicorn. They're rare and hard to find, but you can get them, and they're awesome to see.
I totally forgot all about that NASA lady. That was a weird-ass call.
But certainly, Daz, to readdress your question, I think part of any of this has just been kind of an evolution into what we do is just what we do. You know, for the first few shows, we started out with, for some reason, not planned. Oh, I know, it was the Las Vegas planned event because Rob was here hanging out with us and we were breaking it down, and he and I had really done a lot of research on it. And then we just kind of went from there into the flat space lettucey stuff for many months. And after we beat that horse for a while, and things just kind of, you know, began popping off all across the world, and things became stranger and stranger and stranger, we figured out that we all kind of had a good handle on the shape. Let's figure out what the hell we need to do with that now. So again, just evolution. If there's somebody you want to see, we'll do our damnedest to get them on, or hear, I guess. Somebody you want to hear, because you can't see them unless you're watching us on YouTube or DLive or Twitter or
Facebook or
Twitch or Facebook or any of them other places you can see us right now, where I'm all sleepy and not coffeeed up. But yeah, dude, anybody that we can try to get anybody. It's just, like I said, bad time slots more.
You don't need anyone else. You don't need anyone else if Martin just randomly pops in. Hey guys,
we got Daz Tartaria.
But he got the top guy on there as your guest anyway. I mean,
right?
No, I don't need anyone else to pop on the show.
Exactly.
Quite frankly.
Exactly.
Everyone else.
No, we got Daz Tartaria. What else do we need? So I saw
Martin.
You have some pinup ideas I saw earlier in the chat. I think that's a great idea.
Well, that's basically what my art always was anyway.
But the blending
my whole idea was like seeing a Renaissance. Think about this. Here's the concept. As a lowbrow art fan, Walt, you already can understand this Robert Williams type style, right? So imagine the scale, the actual size of the Sistine Chapel, but with like Salvador Dali or 50s pinup art people instead of, you know, cheesy small dick Adam, you know, getting and there's God with a pink nightie, just these cryptic things. Imagine if it was cool shit, superheroes, or just something on that scale to that degree of perfection. That was always the goal.
That's a phenomenal idea, dude. I think Robert Williams is like the next level of what art is supposed to be, putting forth some messages with amazing technique and stuff that just kind of wakes you up as soon as you see it and makes you look at it, makes you be drawn into it so that you figure out what the message is.
Yeah, that size, not just looking at it on your phone, you know, because that's,
oh man,
looking at stuff on your phone, like,
well, see, that's one thing I forget. Right, I forget that there are people who don't visit museums. I mean, that's something that I've done my whole life. When I was, especially in college, man, I stayed because I had the school pass. I stayed at the museum, and
I get mad.
Shell and I go to New Orleans, you just go to all the museums. And so, yeah, to look at it on your phone or your computer, you need to go look at that huge wall-sized art that has the vibration that person put into it. One of the most amazing things was to actually go see the Robert Williams art on a wall and see the actual strokes and the brush work, and it was amazing. It was really amazing.
Have you ever noticed museums?
Well, you know what ley lines are because you understand that the magic of like ley lines and vortex portals and all this stuff, right? You know, for millions of years of listening to Art Bell, we all completely understand this idea of a magical land, a fairy ring, something anyway. So a giant building with a really cool psychedelic or Renaissance, 3D, mind trippy type art. If you're sitting there and then you like just, whatever, just either just meditate or, get stoned or something and just look at the art and just kind of focus on it, you'll see it in its intended state, right? So isn't it perfect that the world conjures up a place where all these giant stone buildings, so that you won't get rained on while you sit there and trip out looking at this art, that all these buildings are everywhere. It's like almost as if someone who really likes to paint big murals brought that into existence. That's kind of handy. Sorry, that's a little trippy there.
No,
I'll answer
absolutely.
questions if you have any.
I notice you tend to always work very large. I like that.
Yeah, the scale. I mean, when you go to a museum, you're seeing stuff in its proper scale, and some of that stuff is huge. But some of those ceiling murals from like Tiepolo and Michelangelo and everything are so utterly ginormous. And those buildings, like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I've been in there lots of times, is so utterly, absolutely ginormously huge that I just can't imagine that it was actually there. And then just some people like, hey, let's discover this. Wow, we just discovered this ginormous palace in the middle of nowhere where no one's here. It just boggles my mind. It's so ginormously heavy and huge.
Yeah, both museums in Chicago.
And so, yeah,
the
right?
Science and Industry and the Field Museum. Neither of them were built to be museums. You can tell that right when you walk in. This building was meant for something. It was just huge and massive, and it looks like they just it looks like a big, giant, long hallway where they set up. It doesn't look like a museum. When I went to the museum, I thought it was going to be, laid out as designed to be a museum.
I think it's just like a church, Zach. I think it's just like the churches. It's designed to focus energy. When you're standing there in front of a certain piece of art and that feeling is coming out of you into that artwork, also that artwork is coming out of that art. I mean, that energy is coming out of the artwork into you. I mean, like I said, there's nothing like being in front of a piece of art. The feeling, the vibration that was being part of the process of creating it, the process of what it's created now that it's a thing in the universe and the reality of our world, the vibration it puts on you. I mean, it's just nothing like one time at New Orleans Artwork a museum, there's a place there, like it's that building, like you can tell it's been here forever. It's mud flood, it's old. And in there they had this just certain area where you would stand and look at pictures, and I would be there for like literally 35, 45 minutes just off into some picture, and she'd have to come get me out of there. It was just like the spot. It was the perfect spot, the perfect lighting, the perfect energy. I don't know. There's just something about some buildings are just made for it. You can tell, like you said, it's crazy.
And think about this. You know Mark Roscoe, right? The color field painter. You can see one of his paintings in the TV show Mad Men. One of the guys has on the wall, just like, I'm gonna paint, 6 feet of nothing but a square of red, and then I'm gonna do 2 feet of a square of black. Right? You've seen it, and if you look at it on your phone, there's no way in hell you're gonna understand. It just looks like crap that anyone could paint, right? And then you go see it in the museum with the sunlight on it, and you understand that the light bounces through that color, hits the back of the canvas, comes back through the color, and then it hits you, and you're enveloped by this cocoon of color, and then you understand what a color field painting is. But because, you have to actually be there to see it, with the sunlight. There's more to the picture than just the picture itself.
Absolutely.
So you look at it all this art on your phone, and you're like, why is that so? Why is that $1 million? And there's always got to be a price tag attached to everything in this fucking society, right? Why is that $1 million painting? Because it makes you feel like you're a superhero when you stand in front of it. You actually feel empowered by this red, glory, and I'm sure all the other colors affect you in subtle ways. Like, gee, what is color? It's a vibration of light, right? So it's a vibration, makes you feel a different way. And, at Metropolitan Museum of Art, it's like white. And if that building was designed for anything but putting up little gold frames with colorful pictures in, I don't know what more perfect thing the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I've been to lots of ones. I've been in St. Louis and Chicago and odds and ends here and there. But, man, a ginormous building filled with tiny things, you could cram art in there just forever, and they already have. But it's like it was designed for it. Except for having some kind of steampunk technology to like just drive you around in style, like a steam powered couch, and then a robot gives you a drink on the way. But other than that, anyway, over and out.
It's a really interesting take. It is something I haven't really thought of, is the actual feeling and the vibration of a piece of art being calculated into its worth, into its value.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for sure.
There's a good chat.
I can't put a price on my art. I've never, when I do something artistic wise, it's always for someone. Usually, or maybe it'll be especially for me, and it'll be something that I'm going to carry around with me for the rest of my life. But I don't know. I don't think I could put a price on my art. It's free, when I do it. It's just this weird feeling I get that it's like, I don't know. Now I understand as an artist, you have to make a living. But when I do it, it's more or less, it's never about money when I do it, no matter, unless I really need money and I go do something just to make money. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love artists that just do it for the art. They do it because they love to create. They're not thinking, oh, I need to do this piece so I can sell it and, pay for my next car or whatever. I think true artists do art no matter what, always, all the time. It's like everything they do has a little bit of them put into it. It's never, just to get it done. You'll always put a little bit of something into it.
You play guitar, right?
Yes.
You play guitar, right?
I try. Yeah.
All right. So, have you ever daydreamed about being a famous singer and having, people adore you and buy your new album and stuff like that? Yeah, obviously it's just an ego trip. That's all just for fun, right?
Yeah, not while I was a musician. Before I became a musician, yeah, I wanted to be, Eddie Vedder singing up on stage, and yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. So take that energy then, and the young man who has a lot to say, and he's never satisfied with what he sees, and he puts all the energy into his songs and stuff. And then in that dimension, that Zach, instead of the adventurer on the flat earth here and jack of all trades and radio personality, et cetera, that other Zach became a famous musician, and he's your alter ego in another parallel dimension. Because it's easy enough to remember. Remember, he's already there, man. He's there. He's your buddy in a different dimension. Zach musician. So, yeah, just want to introduce you to him in case you forgot about him, because he's over there making a really cool hit single right now. However, if you concentrate, he might be able to transfer that hit single to you right here in this dimension, where,
Oh, yeah, he already gave it to me.
Goliath. Cool. Now, I'm just curious to know who is your parallel dimension person there, because we're all stuck in this little bubble, but we all know our paths could have evolved into all kinds of great things, right?
Mine would basically mine would be Buckaroo Banzai, but with better hair.
That's a movie I've
Yeah,
not
it
seen
was
in a
wanted
hot
to
minute.
be.
If you haven't seen
wanted to be
Buckaroo
Bob
Banzai in a long time, go watch it. That dude could kick ass. He could play guitar. He was a fucking brain surgeon. He was the shit.
Yeah, that's another
if this is Dungeons and Dragons, what color eyes does your elf have?
I'm rolling for green. I'm rolling
Because
for
2
green.
months from now, you're going to say, but I had gray hair and blue eyes. No, you had blue hair and gray eyes. It says right here on my DM sheet.
Oh, I love it. You know, I've never played a game of
Bonsai.
Dungeons and
That's
Dragons.
your alter ego in another dimension.
I always wanted to be Steve Austin,
in
the
Dungeons
$6 man.
In Dungeons and Dragons, or just in general?
No, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
You know, I have
just as my alter ego. I wanted to be the $6 million man when I was younger.
I get that. I
I
wanted
used
to
to
be
tell
the
my mom, I'm Dave, the $6 man.
Yep, I wanted to be the fall guy.
Maybe some of the listeners know their alter ego a little better than we do.
There's a good chance.
I bet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does, for sure.
Ego.
What was that, Zach?
I think
Alan's
I'd be
got
an
a cool
evil
alter
super
ego.
villain.
You know it's a superhero.
Yeah, I would be an evil supervillain, I think. My alter ego. Do all the crazy thoughts I have in my head.
Are you a member of the supervisors?
Yeah, here's what.
Featuring Josh Corey and...
Yeah, see, my alter ego, I think, would be more like Jonathan from Jersey. Sadly enough. Maybe with a little less Jersey.
Can you slip into character, sir?
No, I cannot. I've worked many years to not be able to slip into that character.
He uses free will. He did it.
But that's why I like hanging out with John.
I guess we're going to pay some bills again. Give us a minute. Hang out with us if you can, sir. If you can't, that's fine, but I hope you can.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back on Ironworx.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
Not shaken. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. President Trump thankful after the Secret Service whisked him out of a White House briefing late yesterday when they heard gunfire outside.
I'd like to thank the Secret Service for doing their always quick and very effective work.
The shots came from a confrontation between a Secret Service officer and a man outside the White House who claimed he had a gun, then took a shooter's stance and pulled something from his pocket. Shot in the torso, the 51-year-old man is expected to recover, and says Thomas Sullivan, chief of the Secret Service Uniform Division.
The White House complex was never breached during the incident, nor was the Secret Service protectee ever in danger.
Returning after a 9-minute pause, the president called for unity in the fight against the coronavirus.
We must stop politicizing the virus and instead be united in our condemnation of how this virus came to America.
But there's still no break in the standoff over relief talks.
There are no more talks scheduled on another coronavirus bill just yet, but we think that there will be a bill at some point. It might not be this week or next week or even this month, but there's a lot of people here on Capitol Hill, both sides of the aisle, who say there has to be a bill because the situation is so dire.
Fox's Chad Pergram, the number of cases since the outbreak began now exceeding 20 million worldwide, according to the Johns Hopkins University tally. And this curious note from Moscow. Reuters reports that Russia's President Putin says his daughter has been vaccinated against the coronavirus, and Russia will soon start mass producing a vaccine. The Big Ten and Pac-12 could announce as early as today they will cancel fall football, moving the games to next spring. Investors looking to make it 8 straight winning sessions for the Dow today. Early morning Dow futures are trading more than 230 points higher. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard,
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back. Sorry, I wasn't sure what you were going to do with that, Walt. I was kind of hoping you was going to play it.
Sorry, I got lost in the chat, catching up while you were playing stuff. I apologize.
No,
and I was
all right.
having issues with my computer.
No, it's all good. It is all good. Sorry, I've muted up.
I really love that commercial. I really do. Thank you all for helping with that.
Absolutely.
I could hear it 1,000 times in a row and not get tired of it. And it's not the compliment either. It's, just the scouts, just hearing the scouts' voices.
Dude, brings a smile every time. Every time.
Good morning, Ukulele.
Is that Nuka?
That's Nuka Cola.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Very well, very well.
Good morning. What's up, Nuka?
And
all good, brother.
We should still be joined by...
Finally got working earphones.
Oh, good. Excellent.
All right.
Daz, are you still there by chance?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm whittling on my magic wand thing. Yeah, I'm listening. Howdy, Nuka.
How's it, man? How's it going?
Going awesome. I will have a literal, real magic wand here. And this is from wood that a lightning bolt knocked the branch off a tree right in front of my eyes. And it was like a purple light zap. And I heard the electricity, and then this big branch just dropped down. I'm like, well, I suppose I'm supposed to do something with it. So I'm whittling with a knife as a precious artifact I have kept with me forever from my ancestors. And I'm whittling it with good intent. So any good intentions for an electrically charged magic stick can be sent through your brainwaves at this time on planet Earth to charge this magic wand, and I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Over and out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole story behind wands and magic staffs and stuff is you are putting all your intent into this object as you're using it. It flows through the object. You can focus with the object. You know, you have like an aimer. But now don't lose your wand. Don't lose your wand, because you're putting intent into it. You're storing all that intent in there. So every time you pick it up, it's easier and easier to share your intent with other things. But yeah, this is in actually quite a few of my alchemy books. And a lot of alchemists didn't like to use a magic wand for the simple fact that they could lose it. It's more or less an extension of you. It's like your finger. It's
like Thor's hammer.
Something else.
It's not the source of your power. It's a way to focus your power.
Yes. And if you lose it, though, you're going to lose all that power that you stored into it. So just hold on to your wand, ass. Don't ever lose it, man. Yeah, I found a bunch of holly bushes.
Can I transfer it to the next owner of the stick? Okay. I'm not sure how this works.
Not sure.
Hey, that whole story about the lightning is awesome. Have you ever seen a movie called The Natural back in the 80s, 90s, whatever?
That's what I was going to say with Robert Redford.
What? With Robert Redford. Hell yeah. Wilford Brimley. Shout out. Just recently lost him. Yeah, that was an amazingly good movie.
Wilford Brimley.
Dude, go see The Natural and you'll have a new appreciation for your wand. I'm sorry, what?
It's a baseball story, right? If it's a baseball story, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it is, but it's a lot more than that. It's a fucking phenomenal movie because I am the farthest from being a sports dude ever in my whole life. I've never been a sports dude, but that movie was great.
Cool. I'll watch it. Thanks.
Lightning Boy. That's all I'll say.
Yep, it's worth a watch.
I've heard people mention it.
Real quick.
It's one of those where the music gets you. The music of it.
Yeah, when that hits the sign. Oh, okay, so real quick, before we ask Nuka what he's been doing, someone in chat, I've lost it, Socrates in chat wants to know, Space Lettuce Pile has reached critical mass, what that means. We call the endless space drivel stories that we are repeating over and over for the last, well, for us 3 years almost, and for them 40 years, endlessly. Every couple of years we get a new story about the first time they've grown lettuce in space, and we hear that story over and over and over. So Josh dubbed it Space Lettuce Pile. All right, so what's been up with you, Nuka? What have you been doing over there now that we can actually hear you, man?
How's Walter? Well, doing the same old. Last week we had Luca. I had Luca with me. You saw he was wearing a mask. So we're all busy talking about this coronavirus BS. And I don't know what's happened to all the other countries, but in our country, when they've decided to implement a lockdown, they took away everybody's alcohol, everybody's cigarettes, and there's a raging black market at the moment where everything is like 3 times the amount if you're looking for those particular items. They deployed our army to help the police. They've officially only killed 2 people, officially, for not wearing masks or chatting back because people aren't following the instructions in terms of, things that have been outlined by the UN, what we need to do in terms of wearing masks and social distancing and all of that crap. So it's been quite a eventful few months, shall we say.
Yeah, I would
So
say.
is it a lot of people that are against the mask, or are you in a minority over there?
Definite minority. See, a lot of jobs also have been lost. I'm sure that's the same everywhere, but when you live in a country where the basic minimum wage is, I think in dollars, it should be around about $150. That's the basic minimum wage. And people have just lost their jobs, particularly in the beginning months of this thing. People are just struggling just to feed their families. And they were asking very valid questions. Shouldn't we be able to go to work to provide for our families and risk dying from this virus, or do we stay home and be safe and then starve to death? So yeah.
What country are you in again?
Well, yeah,
Uncle
exactly.
Levico? I've forgotten.
It's South Africa.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, we take a risk walking out our door every day from dying in a car accident, or, there's 1,000 million bajillion ways you could die out there walking out your front door. Why is this one all of a sudden enough to shut down society to where I can't even go try to provide for my family anymore? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, see,
It's crazy.
That kind of logic, it escapes people when I guess they're scared. Because I ended up volunteering in like a soup kitchen, and our job every day was to prepare over 600 meals to go out and deliver these meals to all these people who are basically starving.
Wow,
and you
that
meet a
is
lot
a
of people
lot
that
of
way.
meals. 600?
Yeah. We had to do 600 meals per day, every
I
day,
used
Monday
to
to
feed
Sunday.
200 people, and that was a very large job, just trying to feed 200 people. It took, a staff of people to prepare all that food and deliver it and stuff. I couldn't even imagine doing 600.
So with your 200 people, how many volunteers did you have, and how long did they last?
Oh, no, this was a job. I worked in a hospital kitchen for about a year and a half. Yeah, so we were fully stocked. We everything was there that we needed all times. We had a large staff crew. It was probably 12 people, maybe 10. But yeah, it wasn't, it was a job to get all that done. And then the cleanup of all this stuff. And yeah, it's, wow, 600 people.
Yeah, we relied on donations from the community. And then we would take the food and, prepare it for whatever we had that day. And we had in the beginning, we had a lot of volunteers. But as the thing went on and this lockdown wasn't ending, people, filtered away, because you literally worked 12 hours a day, volunteered 12 hours of your time, and it's work nonstop. Like it never stopped. You had no break. And then people just slowly started not coming. And we ended up with just 6 people every single day to do this. And then we eventually ran out of food because people weren't donating anymore because they didn't have any more food.
Yeah, how do you decide who gets what and how much? And man, I would not have wanted to be doing that. That's hats off to you, man. And this was a volunteer thing?
That's awesome, man. So awesome.
Yeah, it was a volunteer thing, but I mean, it's closed now. People are still starving. People are still losing their jobs, particularly with the alcohol thing, because there's a lot of in the place where I stay, there's a lot of factories, and a lot of them do make glass for the breweries. So with everything shut down, they've lost their businesses. They couldn't pay rents on properties. They fired people, and a lot of people now are just unemployed. Not that we didn't have an unemployment problem to begin with, but now it's just such a big thing.
Yeah. Well, I know here in the U.S., at least where I was at the time in Denver, they were talking about closing the liquor stores, the cigarette shops, and the cannabis dispensaries because it's recreational there. And they had lines. They had announced it at like 3 p.m, and there were like 2-mile lines of people waiting to get into these places to stock up. And within a couple hours, they said, okay, everybody go home. We're not shutting any of this stuff down. It'll be open. We're just going to practice the social distancing thing. So the people kind of changed it over there. I think there would have been riots in the streets if they would have done that here. I think people would have been like, no, you're all crazy if you're not going to let me have my Miller time, you know? Yeah, I know quite a few people who drink a lot. Yeah, I'm sure.
But our soldiers they're a little extreme. I'll beat you up for not wearing a mask. So, and there's no accountability.
Wow.
You know, you can report someone, sure, this person did this to me as a soldier, yada yada yada. And where is that gonna go? They let people out of prison during the lockdown because they said they were running out of space, and they didn't want people getting the coronavirus and spreading it in prison because it's overpopulated. They actually let people out, yet they were quite willing to arrest people for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. They were doing the same thing here. They actually were releasing like violent offenders. One gentleman got out and like 2 days later ended up killing somebody. It makes no sense. It doesn't. The whole way they're going about.
Why are they wearing masks again? What's this thing about masks? Can you take it from the top? My dimension, they don't have masks, so if you can just go ahead, take it from the top.
Okay, what you do is you go.
Please.
If you like your window and you need a new screen for your window because of the mosquitoes, right? So you go down to the hardware store and you walk past the screens and you go down to the chicken wire and you get the chicken wire and you put that over your window because that's how you keep mosquitoes out.
Well, granted, you're not going to keep all the mosquitoes out, but there will be the occasional mosquito that rather than flying through the chicken wire will just smack right into one of those wires, turn around and fly away. And those are the bastards you want to keep out.
You got it, bro. You're right. And then those don't come out until after 8:30 when the shops close, right?
Right.
Wait, I'm trying to make sure I understand how this mosquito thing works.
Right through till Sunday morning for church service.
Right, and only the kids over 8 only see it, right? They don't see. I mean, they only see the kids that are over 8, not under 8.
Well, they're allowing protests
and
where
cannabis
people can
makes
gather.
you lean or something. What's with the cannabis connection?
They just didn't want to revolt, really. They didn't want, and they're real strict at the cannabis shops as well. They're always trying to close them down, still. If they don't follow rules, regulations, this and that.
Is that cure for it or something?
Well, I don't know. If it's a cure for their brainwashing, and they don't like that. People who, frequently use cannabis, for some reason, the propaganda, mind control, the subliminals don't really take. They just don't work on them. And these are, long-time doctors / scientists doing research on this stuff. There's organizations out there built around this idea that, cannabis stops brainwashing. They don't know why, but that's probably one of the main reasons they made it illegal. Because they realized they couldn't. Edward Bernays and all them back in the day realized, hey, this is the one substance that we can't get around. If people do this stuff, they see right through our lies for some reason. Or they have the ability to see through the lies, I should say.
You can ask you guys a
check into that.
question.
Yeah.
So my question, I know you've spoken about cannabis and the brainwashing. What I've been struggling to explain to people, because the truth is I don't particularly know the answer as well, is what's the end goal to all of this? Why they implemented this thing, calling a pandemic, this flu, whatever. What is the end goal? I know the end goal might be probably different from the States to other like third world countries or something, but we seem to just be following what everybody else is doing in the world.
I think it comes down to collapsing.
Hey, that's an awesome question, man.
Yeah, they want to collapse the middle class, get rid of every business that isn't, under their corporate control, which they're doing very well here in the United States. I think back in May, 41% of family-owned businesses on Yelp were shut down. They've had to close their doors forever. And that's a big hit to our middle class. And then I think the vaccine. They really want to push this vaccine. I don't know why. I mean, they have the bombs and the guns to kill everybody if they want to kill people. But I think it's more spiritual than that. They want to mute your spiritual. They want to mute your soul, in my opinion.
And it's another level of control. They've got this in plan. I mean, this is part of the whole getting rid of the money thing. That's why all this crap with the coins and businesses not taking cash. If you don't have your vaccine, tattoos, stamp, papers, whatever the fuck it winds up being, then you don't get to have money, basically, because they're going to do away with it. Money's not going to exist. Credit cards aren't going to exist. You're going to pay with your face. That's what all this facial recognition shit is. But that's just what I...
Yeah, but that's like the InfoWars level of conspiracy thing. We know that's the controlled opposition. This is Bill Gates and George Soros and all that stuff. We know that's the controlled opposition because the real people wouldn't have their literal names and interviews being out there for people like us to scrutinize, right? So there's obviously someone else behind all that. So I don't think it's quite as sinister as them. I think, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to say my opinion quickly and then let everyone else have their opinion of the end game, because that's the best question we've heard so far. Why in the hell are they doing this? Because there's no way Wall Street and all those Fortune 500 and all those people wanted this to happen. It screwed up their business, the investor class. It screwed up the actual people that made it worse by being so fucking greedy. The greedy people appear to be the ones the most screwed because I'm poor and I've got more, and than I haven't lost anything, other than a couple of friends. I don't even know how, but I don't think it was anything to do with the situation. But it seems to me that things are improving for some people, so I don't think the actual powers that be wanted this coronavirus, but I think that they all get their information from higher up, and then the higher up people realize that this is time, the age of Aquarius or whatever, some kind of reset where it's over, it's just done, and they're just bailing out. And that's their exit plan. They realize it's going to screw up the whole world. They can take their squadrons over to Greenland or wherever their, secret boat through the ice wall, the, New Tartaria or whatever. They bailed out and they're gone. And now we're dealing with the aftermath. But at the beginning and at the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, I mean, look what happens on those other resets, right? These people are like, hey, here's your crystal palace full of all these options. Where would you like to settle type thing? It's like those people are like given a chance to like restart society. We restarted society in like a real ugly, brutal, greedy fucking way here. So, how's the new society going to go? I think the bad guys have already gone, and now everyone's trying to figure out what to do next. Anyway, over and out.
I think you're hitting some of that dead on. The only thing I would say is that I don't agree necessarily with is, or not necessarily agree, whatever. All I know is last year, before all this shit started, almost every head of every freaking company bailed, sold their shit, and got out.
1,600 CEOs, I read somewhere.
Yeah, they bailed, got out, sold their crap, said, I'm out of here for no reason, all at once. So that's when I started going, something's happening. Something's happening. Anyway, as you say, though, this is a chance to break away, create your own shit, learn how to grow food, learn how to live off the land, learn how to do it like we're supposed to have done it all this time instead of getting back into their cycle of bullshit. But that's just my opinion. I'm also probably wrong.
Josh, you're up.
Yeah.
Nope, Zach's up. Go, Zach.
Yeah, I think they may have some privy information, just that these mud flood type events do occur. They don't want us to know about it. They believe that one's probably I don't know when they think it's coming, but they're I think they're, like you said, 1,600 CEOs just all of a sudden up and left. The people in the know are, to me, I think they're just guesses, taking their best guess of where some place might be that could be safe during one of these events. Does anybody really know? I don't think so. In my opinion, right where you are is the best place to be, because you don't know if this land is going to erupt over here, or this one's going to sink in, or this or that. And I'm sure there's going to be pockets left somewhere. Me, myself, personally, I would not go into one of the underground bunker things. Just saying. That's me. That seems like a tomb, in my opinion. You're kind of closing yourself into a place that could get completely covered in, miles of earth, or even, half a mile of earth. If you were down and you had to dig yourself out, yeah, good luck with that.
Maybe that's what happened to the Titans. They hid under the ground for the mud flood that was too deep to climb back out.
And I'm sure they have small boring machines that they keep in those tunnels. I expect they have plans for expansion and ways to extract themselves should they get covered with miles of dirt that they've just already drilled through. If I had to guess. We've only got about 30 seconds of break coming up right now. Hell yeah. Look at that. Break music.
Oh, wow.
We're hanging out with Ukulele Koduma and our buddy Daz. Coming up with the fourth and final segment of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Hang out. Stay tuned. One more left. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body, and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state, manifest new and exciting experiences, re-energize your life, and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR.
Your protection
from deception.
Of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of the iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, feel weak, run run down and are easily upset,
We are striving
start taking today.
Welcome back to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. We are also live streaming over on YouTube and a few other places as well. I'll just put it that way. But we are joined this morning by our buddy Daz, who called in. Good morning, Daz.
Hello.
And then we got the awesome surprise because we were joined a couple weeks ago, well, last week, I guess, maybe this time last week, by our buddy Unkuleleko, who had some issues with some headphones. And then I noticed that I called him again on Friday, and I didn't want to bother people who aren't expecting a call to be coming through on Twitter, so I took him out this morning before I called because I wasn't expecting him to come on. And then here we are just chilling out, and he just drops right in. Which, for what it's worth, I absolutely love when that happens. When I'm just hanging out, doing our thing, and a friend drops by. I love it. I love it when friends drop by. So, thanks for joining us again this morning, Unkuleleko. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Although I did mute you, so you may need to unmute yourself, or I can try to unmute you. I just tend to mute up everybody who's not during the breaks, and doesn't look like I can unmute you. So you'll have to just unmute yourself whenever you get the chance, because we can still say hello again.
Am I not on?
Ah, there we go. Yeah, no, you weren't on.
Welcome back.
I had to mute you up. I just tend to mute people during the breaks because sometimes you get that echo or a slapback or background noise or just a shuffle of the mic or something. And I don't want to step on people's paid advertisements, so I just tend to mute people up.
Josh, I'm still waiting for your opinion.
Yeah, here's the problem with the way my brain works. Nothing's ever as simple as it appears at first. I tend to overthink everything. Initial reaction is...
How would your alter ego, the guy who doesn't overthink, how would your alter ego from a parallel dimension, that Josh, how would he say it?
Probably with a lot of fuck in it. If I had to guess. Probably be pretty misogynistic if I had to guess. But initially, I want to say the end game is sort of Hunger Games. And that's sort of the control they want. At least one echelon of this pyramid structure under which we live, or on top of which we live, depending on your point of view. I'm sure there are other people that are in control whose names we don't know that have other end goals. But those could be just as varied as, their faces and their names. Who knows? We could just open a phone book and point and say, maybe he's one. Look, does that date me? Look, it's 2020. There could be some young kid somewhere saying, what the fuck's a phone book? A book, like a thing you hold in your hands with a bunch of phone numbers in it? Anyway, so I have no idea what with Walt, I think it's going to be something spiritual, something energetic. I think it's a hijacking of that energy. It's not about hatred. It's not about anything else. It's they're getting something from us being alive. more than just turning over life credits for the reserve notes. There's something energetic at work. I think the Matrix points to it pretty strongly. And that's even a literal energy. But I think this is more of a spiritual nature because we are who we are, because of the place on Earth that we were given as human beings. I think it's seems to be pretty special. I don't know. Earth and our place in it seems to be pretty special. And I think there are people, beings, things, other entities that are probably jealous of that. And I think, again, there's lots of stories that could point to that throughout the ages. So I think that's ultimately what it is. But I think there's a lot of things that can sort of point and ties to be made. This is what makes us the questioners and the searchers for truth, is because we see George Soros, for fun, he says, collapsing the entire economies of countries just to make a buck for fun. Death, disease, poverty on their part, but on his part, it's a good time, so it doesn't really matter what they have to go through as long as he gets to have his fun and make his money. And you can look at the ties and what he does with that money and sort of make the connections there and see if there's similarities between those people and the things that they do and start to see a larger picture. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing, and I think a lot more people are waking up to it, and I think it's an amazing, amazing time to be alive, best apocalypse ever, because we get to see it happening before our eyes. It wasn't that long ago the two words flat earth together were a completely foreign concept. Trying to get that point across to somebody was so difficult, right? It's like the Native Americans trying to explain these large wooden ships coming in from the sea. They just don't have words. Their brain, those synapses, don't have connections to make. They can't make sense of it. And that's the way flat earth was for a lot of people 5 years ago. But now people have heard about it. So when you try to talk to them about it, good or bad or indifferent, those two words have at least entered their subconscious at some point. So it's an awesome time to be alive because there is this huge apocalypse happening right before our eyes. So just remember about who it is that's in charge, who it is that's supplying the energy that they desire, that they're after, that they're dumbing us down, that they have this slow kill holocaust just to keep us submissive. The power is ours.
I like
Go ahead, Uncle Lele, go for it.
I like the term the spiritual hijacking.
Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like, yeah.
When somebody said that, it reminded me of one of my nieces who's 9 years old now. And she recently learned how long a human body can be alive without food and water. And because that's what they were teaching at school. And she found out that, you can stay quite a long time without food. As long as you drink water, you can be alive for quite a bit. But the one thing that she couldn't understand was if you don't sleep, you're generally going to be a goner relatively quickly without the rest. So the teacher asked her to sort of explain that in a way that the class would understand. So this is an 8-year-old or 9-year-old's brain. She explained the whole thing in a sense of a smartphone. She said, humans are smartphones. And what happens when we sleep is that we're downloading the new operating system. And then when we wake up, we can interact with the world. So a tree can be an app, a car can be an app. if you don't sleep, you don't get to download the new operating system, which is why you feel sluggish, which is why you can't pay attention, which is why everything sort of feels out of place. And that's why you die quicker if you don't sleep than with the food and water thing. And when she explained it that way, I thought, what, for an 8-year-old, that's quite a deep thought.
That's a very deep thought. And not to get to, simulation inside a simulation inside a simulation, but what if we carry around these cell phones like they're our babies, but what if they are just the early precursor of humans? What if eventually we can get cell phones so advanced, right? It's this merging between cell phones and AI robots, and pretty soon, oh look, we just have this juice and it flows and it pumps and we have this brain activity up top. I mean, sure, it's a little Westworld, but essentially that's what they are, right? They're all interconnected via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and they can all talk to each other internally and externally and communicate and all these things. Maybe it's just humans or cell phone generation 25.1.a.2.
I have a question. The smart cell phone 8-year-old types in the world today, what type of art do they like? Are they like into Pegasus and fairy tales and stuff like that? Is that typical 8-year-old art level style? Thank you.
Well, this one is not allowed to watch TV. She gets her own little mini library, so she gets to read. If she's bored, she gets to read books. She's not allowed any kind of TV at all.
What's the theme of the books? Adventure, fairy tales, etc., poetry, art history?
A bit of everything, really. I've seen quite a few fairy tale ones, but more if you read what's this book again? Animal Farm, and what is the other one? 1984 or something. Her parents read that to her and try to explain certain things to her and that kind of thing. But she does read a whole range of things. But yes, fairy tales are still up there.
Well, thanks. Hey, Walt, what age did you read Animal Farm in 1984? Not till long after 8, right? I think this new generation is starting earlier in terms of getting the big picture.
Well, I probably didn't find Animal Farm until I saw the cartoon, and then I had read 1984. Yeah, probably in my early preteen age, 10-ish. I was an early reader, though. I was way ahead of the curve on a lot of people in my generation. So, but yeah, definitely, that's amazing to hear that they've got that kind of push onto what she's seeing and hearing. That's awesome. Instead of just the usual mind fuckery.
Yeah, that's killer. Yeah, well done. Yeah, congratulations. That seems cool. That's smart people. There's a generation of sane people ahead if we can just survive long enough for them to do something to help us, because obviously our generation didn't do it.
Yep, if only we turn off the screens, it would be such an amazing thing. Oh, these screens. And that idea of the download, that was also a good brain breaker, too. I was actually typing away, making sure I kind of caught some notes on that for the show description. So definitely, when she gets a little older, tell her to come hang out with.
It's like an antivirus. I'm sorry, I'll shut up now. Go ahead, guys. Thank you.
No, I was stepping on you. What were you saying, Daz?
Oh, like sleep. If you want to use a computer analogy, the sleep is more like letting your antivirus work while you're asleep. So giving your computer some downtime so that it can double check all its systems and make sure there's nothing malicious in there. That's what sleep does. If you're going to use a computer analogy, just in my opinion, but it's smart to make that analogy, because you can see how that mind is working And that's the key to figuring all this stuff about reality. All these facts and history books and everything, they're just projected reality. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm done. Thanks.
I'm loving it. Definitely glad you guys are bringing some different thoughts to the table here, especially on a morning when I didn't get my download last night as hard as I tried. It was not happening. And so far, that person I dreamed about in chat has not shown up. So I guess I'll have to reach out and see if I can get him in here one day. I'm still not going to tell y'all who it was. Surprises ahead, hopefully.
Oh, guys, a while ago, there was some big hoo-ha about 5G. How's that going there in the States?
Well, during the shutdown, they made sure and take all that opportunity to install it as many schools and playgrounds as they could. So, go 5G. Apparently, full speed ahead. That's what I'm seeing. Up to and including in my little rinky-dink town of not that many people, I see the little 5G lights being installed down the street from me. And then last night, I saw one on a back road of like a levee road almost. So, yeah. Those lights that are super bright, that light up a huge area, way bigger than the ones you're used to growing up. Look into it online. There's videos about people tearing those apart and finding all kind of 5G technology in them.
So how's this, Walt? We have a basic minimum wage at $150. We have unemployment at about 50% now. Yet we have 5G up and running. There's a mobile network called Rain in my country, and they're selling it, and it's cheaper than any wireless or fiber internet that you can get. It's up and running. We have all those challenges, yet somehow, some way, we have 5G towers everywhere, and it's actually running, and they are selling it.
God, look, man, it's to the point here in the States, and I'm all about helping somebody who's truly down on their luck. But when somebody walks up to me to panhandle and has to put their cell phone down to ask me for some change while they're in clothes that I can smell from before they walk up, that they're obviously living on the street, but they've got a fucking cell phone. Yeah, you walk on. You can afford a cell phone, then I don't need to give you any change. Anyway, sorry. That's how it is here.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Is it building out? Is it happening there? Are they installing it out there where you guys are, Nuka?
Oh, it's installed. It's up and running, man. They're selling it. You pay a subscription every month. You get fast internet. They're selling it.
Well, I mean, Elon and his crew are launching 120 satellites a month, it seems like now. But
they're producing that much. I saw at least
high-speed internet.
I don't know if they're launching them that quickly yet, but I see they're up at the capabilities of producing that many every month.
Maybe I conflated two stories. You're right. That is the production line. They did just launch some new ones, however, that apparently have the shades on them to keep from messing with the astronomers' pictures so much, which is going to be impossible if they're going to be throwing up 120 a month. But that's just my opinion.
What satellites? Don't you mean helium balloons?
Balloons. When I say, look, you should know by now. If I say satellites, them motherfuckers are hanging on balloons. Oh, I'm sorry. That was ugly. Those lovely little devices are hanging on the ends of cute little balloons. Oh, see, y'all made me cuss. I was not awake. I'm not awake, and I'm saying ugly stuff. My apologies.
And see how much less work that is for them now? All they have to do is trust us. They're there. We just have the shades on. You just can't see them right now.
You just can't see it, right? Shades are on.
Shades on, shades off. Shades on, shades off. Shades on.
Hey, I got a message for Walt from Parallel Dimension, Walt.
Shades off.
Who is in the old school world of Greek legends and everything. So the beggar guy on the street, even though he had his own gold coin, you gave him a gold coin anyway. because, you know, he's still on the street even though he's got a gold coin. And then he turns out to be Zeus and he gives you a whole bunch of gold coins. Yeah, that was your message from your alter ego, Walt.
Thank you, sir. Taz, I love having your mind around, dude. You just don't know. It's a blast. I love it. I love it. You definitely put me in check, and I need that most of the time, especially this time of the morning. So, yes, sir. Correct.
It's always a nice reminder.
Well, we're about done.
We're getting close. We're definitely getting close. We didn't dig into that lettuce pile like I told. Man, I'm sorry. I can't remember in chat. I see so many people there now. Good morning, everybody in chat. I'm not going to go back there. That was it. So great.
Real quick, he's probably working by now, but big shout out to Pavlo. Miss you, man. Love you.
Did you not hear me say a shout out? It was coming out of my mouth. Truly, say Pablo. He's been on my mind and my heart the last day or two. So yeah, you must have that going on too. Yeah, we miss you, Pav. Miss you and love you, friend. Definitely. And all of you guys who haven't been around lately, we miss you all too. I know there's more than just him, but he's one of the old school Iron Realm scouts for sure. So we miss you, bro.
Yeah, something popped up in my head, and yeah.
Salamo's got a new blog post too.
Nice. See, I was thinking about him too.
I keep trying to get to it, but damn it if we just...
keep planning to. Yeah, we keep planning to, Salamo. Don't get mad. You know, every Wednesday, like, yeah, we're going to read Salamo's blog post on Tuesday, and we'll do this, and we'll do that. And
and see, there was the email about the comment. You guys have got to hear this freaking email about the comment. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to put that on my desktop. That's the only way I remember it, because I'll never open it. Well, I don't open email during the show because you just think I get lost in chat. Oh, man, don't even want me to open the emails. So, yeah, that's what I'll have to do is put that in the desktop. Absolutely, doing that for sure. So we're going to get to all those things we keep saying we're going to get to, including that lettuce pile.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
Great pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
Yep. Love you, Daz. Love you, Nuka. Thank y'all so much. Truly, y'all are
Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime.
Come hang out with us on Friday, my friend.
Yeah, we'd love to have you some Friday evening over there on Have No Sphere, right here on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
Kicking off usually right around 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking about doing another seed video today. I said I was going to do one a week, but I did one yesterday, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot.
Awesome. We'll look forward to seeing that over on GUDTIMS, the number 4ALL. Good Times for All channel. Zach going live. A little bit later. Fingers crossed.
Bye.
Love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you right back here on Friday. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.